Capricorn, and welcome to your April 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, and anyone who's working on their creative self-expression, personal growth, or spirituality in any form. So if those areas of life are important for you right now, I encourage you to go ahead and keep listening. I also want to point out that you can use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising sign, and it's also possible that sometimes they don't make sense in the beginning of the month. So if that's the case, I encourage you to explore that further and come back to the video at the end of the month, because a lot of the feedback that I get from people is that at the end of the month it actually makes way more sense. So let's go ahead and get into your messages, Capricorn. So I had a distinct impression coming through of being at kind of a pivotal moment. Okay, Capricorn, so the words that actually came through when I was meditating were, this is your moment. Okay, this is your moment, Capricorn. And I feel that, like, the moment of truth, or the moment of like a powerful pivot for a Capricorn, sometimes feels, it depends on what else you have in your chart. Of course, it's going to impact your temperament, and kind of like, the other atmospheric and environmental influences will have a factor as well. But in general, when a Capricorn experiences like a very powerful moment, a lot of times what it has to do with is facing your fears, first of all, and second of all, like allowing yourself to lead. And I think that this is really true for many of you this month who are looking at something that you want to maybe do or organize. I feel like there are fears and things that you're having to kind of face in that process. But at the same time, I feel like there's this very overwhelmingly strong message coming through spiritually saying, like, this is your time to build. This is your moment to take those actions. This is your moment to bring something into form, really, because, like, we're in crisis right now, globally. Let's just face it. And the people, like, what I get is that the people that you want around you during a crisis are the Capricorns. And I can speak from experience. I have Capricorns, I have a lot of Capricorns in my family, and they're the ones that you want around during like a setback, or during something where each moment has a high degree of variability, and every decision that's made has the potential to very strongly impact any given situation. Those are like times of increased significance, and I feel like that's what we're in globally. And this is actually an opportunity for you, Capricorn, to create something that didn't exist before, or to begin to bring something into form that is intrinsically true for your path. So whatever you have to contribute, creatively speaking, or solution oriented, or in terms of helping and healing, or even something scientific or research based, like, this is your moment, Capricorn. This is your moment to be a leader among those that you have around you that are particularly close with you. For example, in your household or in your sphere of influence, if you are running a company, or if you're a manager, or if you just have colleagues. This is your moment to really step into a role that brings ideas and concepts into manifestation. Like, you're essentially the magician in April. That's what I feel for you. I feel like you are the one that is capable of taking concepts and ideas for solutions and making them happen. Like, there's some element of that, and it depends on what your sphere of influence is, Capricorn. Like I said before, this could be something involving the health and well-being of family members that you have, or it could be something in your community, or it could be something in your career and industry that you are influential in, or it could be the people that are your colleagues at work. But there is some kind of atmosphere where it's like this is your moment to show up and deliver the Capricorn goods. So I definitely feel like there's a sense of you being protected with this, because just now, as I said that, I was seeing like a warm, like bright kind of energy, like almost like right behind someone. So I feel like and I just got chills just saying that. Whew. I feel like you're so supported in whatever it is that you are trying to do here, or whatever idea you have of something that could be beneficial, whether it's on the economic spectrum of things, or it's in the spectrum of physical health or emotional well-being, psychological well-being for others. There's something about like you being able to make a very real difference, and you're protected, Capricorn. You are so protected as you take these steps to improve your life situation and the life situation of innumerable others around you. So don't underestimate the power that you have to make positive changes happen right now. And again, keep in mind like the sphere of influence that is relevant for you. But you're basically kind of in the driver's seat in a sense this month. And I see you actually being very supported as you make whatever changes you are going to initiate. And I feel like it's actually like, it's funny to say this when we're going through such a difficult time globally, but I feel like this really is your time to shine. Like this really is a moment in which you can really take the reins and initiate something highly, highly beneficial. So let's take a look at your cards and we'll get some more information for you. So I was just getting a very strong message of someone like kind of in front of a computer, like working on a computer, but then they got up and they like were dancing kind of around the room and stretching. So I think that it's important, like movement is important for you right now, Capricorn. Don't get stuck in like a certain posture. And even if you are somebody who's working from home more right now, try and like take care of yourself through movement is what's coming through, as well as like a helpful message. Really stretching your muscles and ligaments and even joints, like kind of stretching your joints like that, and just gentle things as well as more physical things, I think are really important for you right now. Okay, so look, take a look. We've got the fish crossed by the owl. Wow. Yeah, this really speaks to what was coming through in the meditation, and it's so, I can feel it. Like it's very emotive, Capricorn. It's very much like these cards hold kind of the way that things feel for you this month, but also kind of like the outside influence, which is the owl card, how that kind of intersects or interposes with like what you're doing in your path, which is all so, so beautiful. So the fish card, when it comes up as your path, it shows that you're having to be, again, very, very flexible. It's funny that I was just getting that message about like stretching. The fish card in this deck, the Animal Spirit Oracle, is about really having to be flexible with your path and really having to be intuitive in terms of the direction that you move in. You may feel like you are kind of engaging in forward motion that is very uncertain, like you're moving along currents that are kind of unknown to you or unusual for you right now. And you know, that could be said to be true for everybody on this planet because we're dealing with something we haven't really dealt with. But this is specifically for you, Capricorn. This is about you really surveying and sensing and feeling the energies in your environment, and then making like course correction changes to your direction that you're taking your life in. And you're going to have to be very intuitive and very flexible as you do this. So that can be a struggle for a Capricorn, especially if you have a lot of Capricorn energy in your chart. You might be somebody that likes to kind of formulate a prediction about how things are likely to go, and then create some sort of a structure or a personal tradition or a personal discipline in order to like get you to that point. But the sands of life are shifting right now, so it's important to be able to like continually course correct with more flexibility and more fluidity. Okay, so there's also something here about the fish card that I think is important to say about really taking care of your immune system. Again, you know, we could say that for everyone, but for you personally with the fish card, I do associate the fish card with potential to have like little sniffles, or potential to have your body, you know, feeling a little bit more sensitive. And I'm not saying you're going to get a virus or anything like that, but there is something here about really taking care of yourself and really nurturing yourself, drinking enough water. I can't stress that enough. Being hydrated, being properly hydrated is a huge step towards having your immune system and your whole body, all the systems of your body functioning really well. So drinking enough water, taking maybe like some good salts, like having some good salts in your diet so you're getting those good minerals, because we have the fish card, you know, I'm thinking of this fish as like a sea or an ocean fish, so having enough minerals, having the right amount of minerals and vitamins. And just kind of recognizing that balance is not going to be like a static thing in April. It's going to be continuously shifting, okay? So really prioritize your physical health. That's one of the biggest messages here. And then also be willing to kind of be flexible with how you do things right now. And you are going to be tremendously blessed as a result of this. The influencing card is the owl. So you are freaking blessed, Capricorn. And it, again, sounds funny to say this during such a critical time for the planet, but you are actually gifted. You are gifted by the universe with perhaps responsibilities, ideas, and thoughts and skills that actually will support you moving forward in like having good luck, good fortune, being able to put out good energy, which then comes back to you in financial forms. Yes, definitely with this card. This owl card is the accompaniment of the goddess Lakshmi. So she brings wealth and abundance, but also, you know, prosperity in terms of luck and in terms of your energy. So when you have a high vibration, when you're taking care of your joy, when you're doing little things that excite you every day, even though you might be homebound or you might be on a different schedule, or you might be kind of concerned about what's going on in the world, there is still this very stubborn sense of prospering that's coming through in your reading. It's like you're so freaking blessed, and I think that you know it. And I see, you know, as like the fish card is your path and then the owl is the influence. It's like you're kind of going along doing your thing, trusting yourself, trusting in life. And then the owl energy comes in as a good fortune or a blessing. So let's get some more information on that from your tarot cards. Nine of Cups. See, exactly. Blessed month. Just as we start out, the first card often shows the theme of the month. So we've got Nine of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Star. Knight of Swords, the Tower, the Hierophant, and Temperance. Wow, so lots of majors. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 majors in this reading. So as we go into April, with the Nine of Cups, we have this overall sense that the theme this month for you is this profound energy of recognizing how blessed you are. With the Nine of Cups, we see, yes, you could be acknowledging that there are, things changing in the world right now with the Two of Pentacles, and there's uncertainty with this card. There's uncertainty, there's a lack of clarity about forward motion, there's a lack of clarity about where we're going collectively as a result of these events, but you have a very prosperous vision for yourself and for the planet. Like with the Nine of Cups, and you can feel it, and you're probably getting some proof in the beginning of April that things are actually going to work out okay for you and for those that You're getting a sense with this Nine of Cups that there's actually an opportunity. Maybe in times of uncertainty, there can be an opportunity for you to start something new or engage in something differently or step into a leadership role and help the situation in some way. And with the Two of Pentacles, this is very much echoing that fish energy that we saw. Do you see what I mean when I'm always talking? I feel like I harp on and on about the cards and how they show the same energy, but it's really true. Like this kind of looping, changing direction, infinite kind of cyclic energy shows me that you're kind of riding the wave in the beginning of April, and you're aware that things are going to work out for you. So that gives you this kind of confidence, I think, to ride those waves, and find some way that you can actually turn this into something beneficial. And I think that's what we're doing as a species as well. I firmly believe that this experience is going to result in improvements in our society as a whole. And so you're seeing that as an individual. You're seeing how this crisis, though it may be upending your life, you also know deep down that this is an opportunity for you to grow, to become more of who you're meant to be in this lifetime. And I think that it's also an opportunity for you to, support others as well. So it all adds to your life experience. The Star card with the Four of Cups is coming up around the time on April 8th that we have the full moon in Libra, which is actually in your 10th house, Capricorn. So when we're looking at these cards and we're saying, this is a week that starts off with a very influential full moon in your 10th house, and the star is kind of about trusting and having faith in the universe. The Four of Cups can be about like a pause or about feeling kind of like progress is temporarily slowed down. This message that I get with the full moon in Libra in your 10th is that many of you are actually going to see changes happening in your career as a result of what's going on culturally right now and globally. But, and I think that it's possible that around that second week of April, things could be pretty peaceful for you. Like you could be feeling, like everything is, good. You're being able to be present. You might be meditating a little more. You might be taking care of yourself. You might be just generally feeling not super worried about anything, but you also don't really know where things are headed when it comes to your career and like the ways that your career is going to be impacted. The Star card, though, shows me that you do have this kind of calm sense of faith with these cards. Like you're aware that things are changing, but from where you're at right now, there's not a lot that you can do in that second week except develop and nourish and connect to your relationship with spirit. I think that that's really what is rejuvenating you in that second week of April. So definitely make some time for meditation. I would say make some time for just contemplation. I'm almost seeing someone kind of with a candle in front of them, just kind of tuning into the energy around them and watching the candle flame sort of flicker and feeling just the presence of spirit in everyday life, feeling the sense of connection, and that's really what we get with these cards. So by the third week of April, though, you, Capricorn, do have a shift in your energy. So you are going to want to enjoy the first 2 weeks of April because they're going to be more peaceful. They're going to be a little bit more laid back. Now, by the time we get to the third week of April, this is where I see the most action happening for you. And this is really where I see the meditation messages coming through about facing your fear and embracing a role that has something to do with authority, and also internal authority, inner sovereignty, trusting your path. Basically, the third week we have the Knight of Swords and the Tower. So something is initiated in your life. With the Tower, it could represent like an ending to isolation, which would be really interesting to see, globally, if during the third week of April there are any bans being lifted potentially when I would look at these cards, because the way I see this is like these people are in the tower, right? Then the lightning strikes the tower and they are freed from the tower. And then immediately we see this guy, this guy has the red cape, and then this guy has a red cape. So I think that this person, it's like they go out of the tower and then immediately like they're off to the races. They're going out to do something. So if we're still in social isolation or social distancing at that time, there could be some reason that you do travel during the third week of April anyway. Or we could be seeing, these cards could be telling us globally that some of these restrictions are going to begin to be lifted around that third week of April. But whatever it is, I see you doing something very intentional around that time. So you could be, leaving the house to do something really important, like organize a community, event or something, organize some kind of resource for other people. You could also be, if you're still working from home, or if you always work from home, Capricorn, you could be starting something new in terms of your platform. Like you could be moving your main source of business from one social media platform to another in that third week. That's another example. You could also you could cease a period of time in which you're not really talking about something, and then now it's like you're coming out with it. So the Tower can here represent, the Tower itself is a shield. The Tower itself is something that you have around you that sort of is a barrier between you and the outside world. And in the third week of April, that barrier is you're leaving it. You're going beyond it. So what we get with that third week is that there is some exertion happening for you, Capricorn. There's definitely a sense of you initiating something in the third week of April, and the energy will definitely shift. And I think that it's going to be putting you in a situation where you do have more influence, or where you have a greater ability to share your truth. And also to, I want to say, just influence a situation in a positive way, because what we see here following that week in these cards is the Hierophant and Temperance in the last week of April. So this is really interesting because these cards do share a numerological link. The Hierophant is card 5 of the major arcana, and Temperance is card 14. So 1 and 4 is 5 when you break it down. So these cards have a link. And in a lot of ways, the way that I tend to see this connection is that the Hierophant is kind of like the projection of authority or wisdom onto like outside people in our life. Because they could be orators, they could be newscasters, they could be spiritual gurus, they could be doctors, they could be politicians, or anybody that we project like authority or wisdom or influence onto, right? That's the 5 energy, but the 14 energy represents like the next phase of that process, where we are with the Temperance energy, we are synthesizing our own kind of wisdom, and we are really getting in touch with our own natural sense of sovereignty, or our natural sense of expertise in life that comes from us, from our own experiences and from our own conclusions, and not from what society tells us, or not from what a professional tells us. And I'm not saying, not to listen to the advice of people who are actually, the experts or who have a lot of wisdom or training or knowledge in a particular way. But I feel like this end of the month kind of represents with the Temperance card. It's like you're kind of stepping back, I feel, from like projecting that power onto others and really owning it more in yourself and really trusting your instincts on particular topics that are like of importance to you. Because the thing is, and this is really the thing, this is the thing. Professionals and experts and well-meaning people, well-meaning, very intelligent, very smart, could be geniuses, well-meaning, highly trained, very professional people will have their views of any given situation. But if you ask somebody who has expertise in a different field, for example, you talk to a dietitian or a naturopath who focuses a lot on diet, for them, any question that you bring them, they're going to bring it back to diet because that's what they know and that's what they're passionate about. But if you bring the same issue to like another type of doctor, let's say an allopathic practitioner, they're going to have their own prescription of how to deal with this. And it might involve some kind of pharmaceutical, or it might involve some kind of other type of medical intervention. You take it to a shamanic practitioner who maybe has the biggest heart in the world, has been doing shamanic work for decades and works really, really well with people and gets amazing results. Their response is going to be about spirit or about energetic, like things that are at play or at conflict in your life, which are causing the issue that you're coming to them about. So my point with this, Capricorn, is this. You are seeing that nobody has all of the answers. And sometimes one type of healer, one type of concept, one type of belief system, one type of study, one type of science is going to have the answer for you in that moment. But you ultimately are the one who gives credence to anything that works for you or doesn't. And I think that like that's really what the Temperance card represents here, is like you going beyond what the talking heads are saying. And that's not with any disrespect to the talking heads, but it's with total respect to your authority over yourself, your authority in your life. I think that you are recognizing and validating yourself as the decider of what works for you, and you're not feeling as much like you need to like lean back on the systems that have been created by others. And this is a really powerful place for you to be, because it empowers you, literally empowers you to do whatever you need to do along the landscape of your life, because you're not locked into a paradigm. You're not locked into a particular belief system. You're not identifying yourself with a particular belief system. You're a free agent now, and you have all of the power to validate yourself and to do the things that are actually going to be beneficial for you in the time and space and moment that particular thing is going to be beneficial for you. So you might go see an energy healer one day and then go see a normal like allopathic practitioner doctor the next day, or you might do some journaling for something in one sense, and then you may also need to take some medication in another sense. So it's like I'm giving all these examples, and I feel like they're all kind of like healing oriented, but this goes way beyond that. It goes way beyond that. It goes into your professional life and how you express yourself in that realm of things particularly as well, because you do have that full moon in your 10th, and you also have a new moon in Taurus on the 22nd of April, which is conjunct Uranus, and it's in your 5th house of creativity. So looking at that symbolism right away, we get this very clear sense for you, Capricorn, that things are changing in your career, which is your 10th house. A new path is opening up for you at the same time in your 5th house, which is your house of creativity and self-authorship, really like creativity that comes from within you. how you create your life, almost like if your life is a work of art. That's where this new moon conjunct Uranus is happening. So you're getting new ideas. You're getting this sense of unpredictability that comes through with Uranus. You're thinking outside the box. You are really engaging in something that feels kind of bizarre and maybe a little crazy, but I think that it's actually coming through your creativity. So it's something for you to follow for sure, especially if you have culmination, some of you, in that 10th house of career. You might be saying goodbye to one area of your life, specifically in your career. You might be kissing that chapter goodbye and starting something very much more creative and very much more kind of heart-centered. Let's take a look at your Bob Ross message. Every day is a good day when you paint. I love it. And this is perfect for us because we got time. You know, some of us, we've got time. Others of us don't. You know, so if you're a healthcare worker or if you are somebody who's essential and you're working really hard, I feel like that message is also for you, saying, you know, try and find little moments to still paint or still read an awesome book or write or do a little reading for yourself or dance, listen to music, do things that you enjoy every single day and make that a non-negotiable. All right, Capricorn, I hope this reading has been helpful to you. Sending you tons of love. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading. Also, if you just want to say thank you and you enjoy this reading, feel free to give me a little globe emoji below. Let me know we're all in this together. I absolutely love hearing that. Or you can just write the word Earth if you're with me still. I absolutely love getting those comments. It always brightens my day and makes me smile so much. And it also is really good for my channel when you guys engage with these videos. So if you want to say thank you, that is a really perfect way to do it. You can also donate to support my channel. I'll put the link below. And you're free to join the April Fool's Journey Tarot Challenge. It's a free challenge during April where I'm taking you through the whole major arcana. And we have daily draws every day, and I'll also be going on Instagram Live and IGTV. So I'll put the information below the video on that if you're interested. Sending you tons of love, Capricorn. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.